Gamer here, and you already know the drill. 4.1 Spiral Abyss. Let's just get this over with.
Think you can get away? Here comes the catch. Time for a light show.
Solidify. I will have order.
Here we go. Time for takeoff. Brace yourself. Let's play. Bust it. Take your true form. Clouds high. Rest and revamp. Kamisato art. Sumetsu. Whirling snow. Do your master's bidding. My will and wind strike.
As one with wind and cloud.
Take flight. Sakura swirl.
Solidify.
Think you can get away? Game's up. Fun is over. What time for takeoff? Here we go. Things are about to get dicey. Time for a light show.
This is order. Gather.
Quietly now.
Solidify.
Fire hazard. Take your true form. Cryo incarnate. Allow me. My apologies.
Clouds high. The birds come.
Whirling snow. My will embodied by ordinance divine. Hold the line. Embrace the ice. Take flight. Transfiguration!
Wind strike. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Allow me!
Stabilize.
Think you can get away? Game's up. Time's over. Busted. Time for a light show.
Order guide you. Gather.
Time for takeoff. Let's play. Gotcha. Here comes the catch. Think you can get away? Brace yourself. Quietly now. Game's up. Time's over. Fuse is lit. Take your true form. Cryo incarnate. Rest and revamp. Kamisato art. Sumetsu. Turn, bring rescue.
Wind strike. Clouds high. The birds come.
By ordinance divine. Imprecious. Transfiguration. Do your master's bidding. Whirling snow.
As one with wind and cloud.
Take your true form. Take flight.
As one with wind and cloud.
Game's up. Time's over.
I will have order. Wind strike. Time to go. Wind strike.
Quietly now. Things are about to get settled.
Remember, health comes first.
Allow me! Inazuma shines eternal! Everyone hold hands! Share my knowledge!
Mind the side effect. Taking a turn for the better.
Rest and rebuild! Now you shall perish! There is no escape! I see everything! The Temple of Wisdom! Protect you! Luminous of the deep! Everyone hold hands!
Remember, health comes first.
I see everything! Torn to oblivion! Shine down! Everyone hold hands! Share my knowledge! Torrent, bring back you! Allow me! Yeah! Go!
Stabilize.
Gotcha! Wind strike! Rise high! The birds come!
Not over! Go!
Solidify.
Here comes the catch!
Order guide you.
Go! Higher, higher! Hands on fire!
Busted!
Gather.
Illusion shattered!
A bit of help to swallow. Seems like an emergency.
Make yourselves at home! Now you shall perish! There is no escape! Community power! Share my knowledge!
Mind the side effects. Remember,
Rest and rebuild! Torn to oblivion! Grow, grow, grow! The Temple of Wisdom! Billowing surge!
seems like an emergency.
Community memory! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish! This may hurt a little. Make yourself at home!
A bit of help to swallow.
Hold the line! There is no escape!
Solidify!
Gotcha! Wind strike! Fallen leaves! Adorn!
This isn't good! Purging transgressions!
About to get it.
Your Majesty!
Stabilize!
I warn
Quietly now.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Busted. Beanstalk. Fun zone.
Solidify.
Time to go.
Quietly now.
Stay alive.
See? Go. Committed to memory.
Taking a turn for the better.
Inazuma shines eternal. Hey, sharing my knowledge. The doctor will see you. Turn, bring up you.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
Roll. Illusion shattered, torn to oblivion. The Temple of Wisdom. A first permanent of the deep. Hold the line.
Taking a turn for the better.
Shine down. Now you shall perish.
And that is it for 4.1 Spiral Abyss. Honestly, in my opinion, this is probably one of the easiest floors ever. No joke. Because I did not retry once in the Spiral Abyss. Yep. You could see in the video for yourself that there are no splices, no cuts, nothing. I basically played through the whole Abyss. Yeah. Well, I am going to be discussing the floors in minor detail. I'll explain it in greater detail in the commentary video that I always do for every Spiral Abyss. So yeah, if you want a more in-depth guide on this Spiral Abyss, just wait for the commentary video to come out. But anyways, it's time to go over these briefly. So floor 11, it's not bad. Yeah, the Monolith Chamber isn't bad for floor 11. Last time, it was way too chaotic. There were a bunch of slimes. There are a bunch of specters as well. So yeah, it is really hard to keep track of. But here, it's not really, because all you have to do is deal with these guys, and then deal with these two, and that's it. Yep. The first chamber isn't that bad. Second chamber is not that bad either. Just bring a bunch of elements. Mainly Hydro, since all of these are affected by Hydro. So yeah, just bring a Hydro DPS. Like Nouvelette. Nouvelette is there for you. And then second half is just robots. Again, not that bad. And in first half here, we have a bunch of other enemies that are not immune to Hydro. Again, just bring Hydro. And then the second half is just these two tanky water boys, the Tainted Water Sprouting Phasms. So yeah, again, just bring any element that affects Hydro and you should be fine. Like Kutao or Ayaka, which is what I used. So yeah, these guys are extremely tanky, so probably bring your best DPS for that floor. Anyways, floor 12, first half, we actually see the seahorse. I predicted that it would be in the second chamber, but I guess I was wrong because they just brought back the dancing robots. But instead of the male, it's the female. So it's the Copula version of the of that robot. So yeah, it's the Penuma version. Yeah, it's the Penuma version of that boss. But yeah. Yeah, first half is the seahorse. Not that bad. Again, just bring characters that can affect Electro. Second half is just a bunch of Rift Hounds and 3 Pyro Abyss Mages. not that bad either. Just have an AoE crowd controller on your side and you should be fine. First half is not that bad either. Honestly, this is pretty easy. It's just 3 Vishaps, I'm pretty sure. And then a large mecha, and then this guy, which is a guy with the Gatling gun, I'm pretty sure. Just attack the guy with the Gatling gun, and then this guy comes to you, and it's basically easy. Literally, this first half is easy so that you can just have enough time for the second half, which I had plenty of time in the second half. So yeah. But luckily, this robot doesn't put up any shields, unlike the male version of the boss fight where he does put up a shield. So yeah, honestly, pretty nice. And then third chamber is just a Mirror Maidens and Wind Operatives, which is the new Fatui members in this new 4.1 update. Again, they're not that bad either. Just bring crowd controllers to suck them up and gather them together, since they do spawn separately. So you want to bring them close to each other so that you can deal as much damage as possible. And the second half, which is the newest boss in this 4.1, just like the Seahorse over here, is the Experimental Field Generator. He is probably one of the easiest bosses ever because you could wail on him. Yeah, he's literally a damage sponge. You don't even need Panuma reactions to beat this guy. I literally, well, you saw it in the video, I literally just wailed on him and he died. Yeah, this boss fight is not that bad, it's easy. And plus, you can take advantage of its AoE attack by jumping and doing plunging attacks. Yeah, plunging attacks deal a lot of damage. So yeah, Ride and Plunge did like 40k that time in the video. Yeah, it's just so good. But yeah, well, there is a brief summary on the floors again. I will go more in depth in the commentary video. But yeah, there we go. There is my thoughts on floor 12 and this Spiral Abyss in general. It's not that bad. Anyone can beat it, honestly. Just bring a good team and you should be fine. But anyways, now it is time to actually go over the teams I used in the Spiral Abyss. Like I always do in every single Spiral Abyss video. So without any further ado, we're just gonna go to the party setup here. Since this is pretty easy, and plus we get to see the animations this time, unlike in the character screen. So yeah. Well, anyways, here is the first character, which is Hu Tao. Yeah, I'm on her right now. So, Hu Tao! Really, really good broken pyro DPS. I will keep preaching her over and over again because I love her kit. I love her character. I love everything about this character. It's so good. But yeah. Well, here's my build. HP is pretty good. Crit rate, crit damage is pretty good too. She hasn't changed ever since I optimized her kit. So yeah, really nothing special there. Her weapon is the Staff of Homa. This is what I gave her for this Spiral Abyss. If you are looking for a free-to-play weapon, you can just use the Dragon's Bane. But Staff of Homa is pretty much her best weapon, so that's why I ran that. Her artifact set is 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames. This is her best artifact set. Yeah, there's really no other artifact set to run. You could run Shiniwawas? Or Shinimawas. Yeah, that artifact set that Yoimiya runs on her. But Crimson Witch of Flames is her best set. Her constellation is C1. I had to get this since I use her way too much. This literally makes her the best pyro DPS in the game. No questions asked. And as for talents, 10, 10, 10. I use her way too much, so I had to triple crown her. But yeah, that is Hu Tao. Pretty good broken pyro DPS. Next up on our first half team is Mr. Zhongli himself. So, I gave him really high HP because of his shield. His crit rate, crit damage is actually pretty average, so his Q actually hits pretty hard, surprisingly. But I mostly emphasize on HP, and crit rate, crit damage is just an afterthought. But yeah. His weapon is the Primordial Jade Spear. This is probably the only crit weapon I would probably give him. I would probably give him the Staff of Homa, but then I have to change his artifact set to compensate for crit rate instead. But Primordial Jade Spear is still a pretty good weapon on him, but his best weapon to this date is the Staff of Homa. yeah, that weapon's just too good. His artifact set is Tenacity of the Millilith. This is literally his best set ever. It is his best set for supporting. It's his best set for shield. It's the best set in general for him. You could make him a sub DPS by giving him Noblesse and the Geo 2-piece set, but Tenacity of the Millilith 4-piece set is his best set. No questions asked. As for Constellations, I am at C0. I'm not a whale, so yeah. And besides, Zhongli doesn't really need Constellations to become good anyway. And its talent is 6, 10, 6. Yes, I have to level this up to max to maximize the shield strength. But yeah, there is Zhongli. Still really good. Best support in the game. Best shield in the game. Yeah, basically. And here we have Kainehara Kazuha, the best animal support in the game. No questions asked. So, he has Elemental Mastery at the wazoo. Crit rate, crit damage is pretty good too. His energy recharge is pretty bad. Yeah. I am planning to change this. At least I want to get it to 170% energy recharge. So I am kind of revamping his Viridescent set on the side. But yeah. Just look forward to Kazuha changing. He's not gonna do as much damage as he did before, but at least he could support his allies more often because of his Q. So yeah. As for his weapon, I have the Iron Sting on him, which is a free-to-play, craftable 4-star weapon. This is his best free-to-play weapon ever. No questions asked, because he does a lot of elemental damage anyway. So yeah, this weapon is just perfect for him. Obviously, his best weapon is just the 5-star weapon that he gets on his banner, so just run that. But if you want a free-to-play option, just run the Iron Sting. Pretty good weapon. As for artifact set, I have 4-piece Viridescent. Again, this is his best set, or best set for animal characters in general who support. Kazuha is obviously going to run this set no matter what. There's no other set you would run on him. It's just way too good, since his swirl damage does way too much damage, and he supports his allies on the side too, thanks to the set. As for Constellations, I have him at C0. Again, he doesn't really need Constellations to become good, but his C2 though is pretty good, since it gives 200 Elemental Mastery. But he doesn't need Constellations to be good. So yeah, that's why I don't have Constellations on him. And as for talents, 6, 6, 10. Yes, I leveled this up to level max since this is his bread and butter, his Q, which is why I want to upgrade his energy recharge. So yeah, I am fixing that. So, but I will be stuck with 126 until I get to 170. But yeah, there you go. There's Kainehara Kazuha. He pulled his weight on the team. Pretty good animo character. And next up, we have Yelan, who is the contender for the best Hydro sub DPS in the game. But yeah, Yelan, pretty good Hydro sub DPS. Her HP is pretty good. This is basically what your minimum HP would be at 30,000. This is what the max I could probably get it to. Her crit rate and crit damage are pretty high. This means that her Q will do a ton of damage. Her energy recharge is also pretty high too, meaning that she could get her burst up way faster than before. Yes, this is all balanced, basically. I do not want to change this at all. She has good HP, really high crit rate, crit damage, pretty high energy recharge. This is just the ideal for me, at least. For her 5-star weapon, we have Aqua Simulacra. This is her best weapon to date. There's no other weapon you would ever run. But if you are a free-to-play player, you could just run the Stringless. It's pretty much the same thing. But Aqua Simulacra gives a HP increase and also deal more damage. So yeah, this is literally her best weapon. As for artifact set, I have Emblem of Severed Fate. This is her best artifact set if you run her as a sub DPS. This is the only set you would ever run if you run a sub DPS Yelan, because of the 4-piece effect, where it increases the burst damage based on your energy recharge. So yeah, only reason why you would ever run the set. As for Constellations, I have her at C0. Again, she doesn't need Constellations to become good. Her burst is her main gameplay, which is why you don't need Constellations, because her burst is just that good. You could get her at C1, which basically gives her an extra E, meaning that you could recharge your Q faster, like having a sack bow basically. You can have a semi-sack bow with this, but yeah, there's no reason to ever get constellations on her, which is why I don't have it, because her Q is just that good. And then that's her level talent 6, 7, 8. I am planning to level this up to level 10 since I use her a lot, but yeah. Well, there is Yelan. Pretty cool, pretty broken 4-star, or not 4-star, pretty broken 5-star Hydro sub DPS. Now, it is time to go over the second half team. And first up, we have the Raiden Shogun. Broken. Absolutely broken. I have her at C0, by the way, so keep that in mind. But she was at output numbers like that in the video. So yeah, you can expect to see my Raiden having this much energy recharge. Crit rate, crit damage is pretty good too. Yeah, she's pretty good. Yep, I would say so. Yeah, this is probably the highest I could optimize Raiden. I could get her to 300%, but I need to get really, really lucky on artifact rolls, and you know how artifact rolls go. They go wrong really fast. So yeah. As for her weapon, I have Engulfing Lightning. This is her best weapon. There's no other weapon you would ever run. But if you are a free-to-play player, just run the Catch. The Catch is her best free-to-play weapon. But Engulfing Lightning is her best weapon. You would never run anything else other than this if you do own this weapon. As for artifact set, I have 4-piece emblem. This is literally her best set, no questions asked. This is her best set as a DPS. This is her best set as a sub DPS. This is her best set as a support. This is literally her best set. There's no other set you would ever run on her, ever. As for constellations, I have her at C0. I did mention this before, but I am planning to get her at C2 at some point, because this is just way too broken, where she ignores 60% of the opponent's defense. That's broken. That's busted. That's the only reason why I would want to get her C2, and I will, because I use her way too much. As for talents, 10, 10, 10. Yep, this proves that I use her a lot. I triple crowned her. Yeah. Well, there is Raiden. Really broken Electro DPS. One of the best in the game for sub DPS and support. So, pretty cool. Next up, we have the Dendro Archon Nahida. Nahida is still really good to this very day. Broken Dendro teams are broken. Nahida is broken. She's just broken. But yeah. She's one of the best supports in the entire game, obviously, because she's just way too good. Look at this. She has high elemental mastery. You need this, by the way, because her passive talent allows her to get high elemental mastery and also give elemental mastery to her teammates, which is pretty cool. I have crit rate and crit damage at the bare minimum. She doesn't really need that since her elemental mastery does all the damage for her. So yeah, you don't need crit rate, crit damage. All you need is just elemental mastery, and you're pretty good to go. Her energy recharge, she doesn't need that much energy recharge, since she gets her burst instantly anyway. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. As for her weapon, I have 1,000 Floating Dreams. This is her best 5-star weapon. No questions asked. This weapon is literally made for her. It's way too broken. And besides, she gets elemental mastery and damage bonuses on this weapon alone. This is just way too good. And the elemental mastery is pretty high too, 265. That's a pretty high elemental mastery for a weapon. If you want to run another weapon besides 1,000 Floating Dreams, and if you're a free-to-play player, just run the Magic Guide, which is a 3-star weapon that you can get in the gacha pulls. So yeah, just run the Magic Guide if you are a free-to-play player. But if you do have the primos to spare, and if you do want to have Nahida at her max potential, get the 5-star weapon, obviously. And as for artifact set, I have Deep Blood Memories, literally your best set. No other set you would ever run, because you get Dendro damage bonus, and you decrease Dendro res, which is what she does anyway! when she uses her elemental skill and burst. It's just so good. She's just so good. As for Constellations, I have her at C0. Again, if you want to get her to her max potential, C2, where she basically makes Dendro teams god. They make them god. Yeah. She's just god when she has C2, which I am planning to get to soon since I do use Nahida a lot. Yeah, mostly all the characters I use a lot, I want their constellations for, since they are going to be good in the long run regardless. So yeah. And as for talent, 6, 10, 10. Yeah, I had to level her up to level 10 for these two because I use her way too much. So yeah. Well, there is Nahida, broken as crap. Still one of the best dungeon supports in the entire game. No questions asked. Next up, we have the Doc himself, Baiju, who is the best Genjo healer in the game. Yep, he's still really good. His HP is pretty high, as you can see there, 40,000. He has energy recharge is also pretty high too, meaning that I can get his burst way more often as well. As for weapon, I have Favonius Codex. This is not the best free-to-play weapon on him. Obviously, the best free-to-play weapon on him is the prototype. Yeah, the prototype. But Favonius Codex still works for me because I do have a lot of energy recharge, and all he needs to do is just use his E and his Q, and that's it. That's all he needs to do. And plus, he heals a lot anyway, regardless of the prototype. So yeah, that's why I ran Favonius Codex. As for artifact set, 4-piece Deepwood. Again, this is a pretty good artifact set on Baiju. He just has elemental skills and burst that lower the res of opponents. So this is just extremely good on him in general. Way, way, way too good. You can also run other artifact sets like Gilded or Ocean Hued of Clam, but Deepwood is still pretty good on him. I think probably his best set. As for constellations, I have him at C0. He doesn't need constellations to be good, so that's the only reason why I don't have him at C1 or C2. And then as for talent 666, he's minimally built, but he still gets the job done anyway. He's just that good. And there is Baiju, pretty cool Dendro healer. And last but not least, we have the best healer in the entire game, Sangonomiya Kokomi. There's no other contest. She's just that good. So, her max HP is at 39,000. Yes, 1,000 short of Baiju's, but she does make up for it with a bunch of other stuff as well. But yeah, as you can see here, her healing bonus is pretty high. Her HP is pretty high too. Her energy recharge is not that high since she doesn't really need to use her energy, her elemental burst, since her E does all the work anyway. So yeah. As for weapon, I have Prototype Amber. This is her best free-to-play weapon, period. Of course, if you want the best 5-star weapon on her, it's the, it's the donut. Yeah, just run the donut. But Prototype Amber is a free-to-play donut that you could run instead. As for the artifact set, we have Ocean Hued Clan. This is her best set in general. It's best for sub-DPS, it's best for DPS, it's best for healing. It's just so good. Extremely, extremely good artifact set. As for constellations, I have her at C1. I got this by accident, by the way. Yeah, I got this C1 by accident because I was rolling for Dory. Yeah, if you want to know that, I will put the Dory summoning video in the end of the video outro. But yeah, this just gives me nightmare fuel. But C1 is still pretty good. It just means that Sangonomiya Kokomi can hit harder on her elemental burst, which is pretty nice. And as for talents, I have 688. I am planning to level these up to level 10 since I use her a lot. But yeah, there is Kokomi. And there is the end of the video. I basically went over everyone that I used. But yeah, well, that wasn't really that bad. The Spiral Abyss. 4.1 Spiral Abyss isn't that bad. I'm pretty sure you guys could beat it. But regardless, good luck, you guys. But anyways, if you liked the video, and if you like this Spiral Abyss video, make sure to leave a like. If you do enjoy my content, and if you enjoy all my other videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that you guys subscribe and like the video. It basically gives me motivation to make more content on this channel. So yeah, any amounts of support is greatly appreciated. Also, if you do subscribe to the channel, make sure to turn on the notification bell to not miss out on a single upload that I do. I upload once a week, but my upload schedule is pretty inconsistent. So yeah, having the notification bell basically tells you that my upload is up. So yeah. And comment down below, what do you think of this Spiralbus? You think it's hard? You think it's easy? Do you have some trouble with it? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what teams you used in the Spiral Abyss, basically to give me more insight onto what teams can beat the Spiral Abyss. But yeah, well, anyways, thank you guys for watching this Spiral Abyss video, and I'll see you guys in the next Spiral Abyss video.